To paraphrase one of the most famous lines in all of world literature, to read or not to read? That is the question about Hamlet. According to your votes about which masterpieces of world literature to move from unassigned to assigned in the second half of English 248A, the answer to that question is an overwhelming yes. Still, it was not a unanimous selection. Some of you might still need convincing that reading William Shakespeare's play Hamlet is a worthwhile way for us to spend a couple weeks of our time together in masterpieces of world literature. With that in mind, we will start our conversation about this masterpiece of world literature by discussing the 2008 speech, Why Read Shakespeare? By Michael Mack, who was then a professor of English at the Catholic University of America. And honestly, asking questions, even ones as basic as why should we read Shakespeare in general and Hamlet in specific, is very much in the spirit of this particular masterpiece of world literature. That's because the titular character of Shakespeare's tragedy Hamlet is questioning by nature. One of the reasons Hamlet remains a fascinating character and Hamlet remains a relevant text to modern readers is that so many of the big questions he and it asks are universal to humanity. How should humans cope with the knowledge of our mortality? What is the point of our lives as humans? What responsibility do humans have for the consequences of their actions or inactions? To what degree can justice or revenge redeem the unjust loss of life? What are the signs of maturity in humans? What are the qualities of a good leader? You may recall that way back in my first video for this class this semester, I rattled off a list of big questions that was similar to, though not the same as, that one. Back then, I suggested that the masterpieces of world literature attempt to answer some of the most common questions asked by all people all around the world, and that is one of the reasons for their immortal appeal. So I find it fitting that you all have selected Shakespeare's Hamlet to be, perhaps, the last masterpiece of world literature that we all read together this semester. And if, as college students, you find yourselves drawn to thinking and talking about big questions, such as the ones the character of Hamlet raises, that totally makes sense, because, like you, Hamlet is a college student, and so are his friends Horatio, Rosencrantz, and Guildenstern. Specifically, to put it in the terms of our times, Hamlet is an international student at Wittenberg University in Germany who's been called home to Elsinore in Denmark to deal with a family crisis. Really, a series of family crises. First, he had to attend the funeral of his father. Next, he had to attend the wedding of his mother to his uncle. Now, at the start of the play, he has to go out on the platform in front of the castle in the dead of the night to confront the ghost of his father? Now, if I was a professor at Wittenberg University in about the year 1600 instead of at Cerritos College in the year 2025, and that was the series of escalating excuses I was receiving from a student whose absences were piling up, I would be skeptical, to say the least. I would start asking some questions, which, again, is very much in the spirit of Hamlet. So let's spend these couple of weeks with our fellow college student, Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, thinking and talking about big questions that he raises in this masterpiece of world literature.